And let me check who thought it was me. So once again, just to check, hello. Let me know if you hear me right now. Now let me know if it is better. Yay, I see. Yes. So now we are fine. Finally, chat, you need to react on the fly. You need to let me know that we are doing. Oh no, Ignacio, we can't hear you. So let's let me know if you hear me or if you don't hear me, because here. Okay. So once again, as I was saying, and as you were not listening, welcome everybody at Gen Con Online. This is our second day for streams for you. Today I'm streaming from Portal Games headquarters, from Portal Games offices. Yesterday we were streaming from America. And here we are today. Today I'm running 2 seminars. Right now we are starting Detective Explained. I hope it will be very interesting for you. And then after that, I'm going to talk about the new releases and our plans for the future. And then we have Learn to Play for Robinson Crusoe. So a ton of amazing content today, I hope. So let's start the very first seminar, very first topic of the Gen Con Online for us, for Portal Games fans today. So we are talking about the detective. If I can ask you to be active on the chat and let me know if you played detective, if you haven't played detective, how many cases you already played, so I know, so I understand what audience prefers to hear, what you are interested in the most. I'm prepared to talk about all the cases, all the expansions, all the plans for the future. So I'm going to talk about every product in the detective line, but knowing what you are up to, it will be easier for me to adjust a little bit this seminar. Camera Monster says, have not opened it yet. So hopefully I will convince you to open it this very weekend. I love Detective, played everything released so far. Thank you, sir. Played Detective 3 cases, have some expansions, cannot wait. Thank you. So let me start with about 15 seconds of bragging. And on a serious note, many of you heard about Detective. This is a very heavy, amazing hour, the game of the year in France. The game received, and here I have this amazing confirmation of nomination for Spiel des Jahres, game of the year in Germany. The Detective became a worldwide phenomenon. We released the game worldwide after it had this basic success in English and Polish, in German. Then the new editions came, and at this point we can talk about the players from Japan to China, Korea, Russia, Poland, Czech, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and moving forward to the West, of course, America and Brazil in the works. So from Japan to Brazil, all over the planet, players can play a detective. It makes me and my co-designers and the whole team here at Portal Games extremely proud. It absolutely pays for the effort we put into the game. It was many months of designing the game, of playtesting the game, but now seeing so many people enjoying it and praising is absolutely amazing for us. So thank you, everybody, you who are watching, that you said that you played, that you have, that you love. It means a lot for us. It is the moment when we finish the design, we are tired of the project, but then seeing you enjoying this is amazing for us. And the biggest question is how to start playing Detective, because Detective released in 2018. As for today, it has many expansions, many standalone products, a ton of things. So where to start if you haven't played Detective? Let's consider that for a few minutes you are the person who heard about this Detective. Amazing game, won or was nominated to more than 30 awards. Dice Tower, the most thematic game of the year in France, game of the year in Germany nomination. So you heard this amazing game, but where to start? If I may suggest, you can start with this free case. We have a case called Suburbia. This is a physical version because we printed it also in a physical version, but you can download from our website PDF version of this case. This is just a couple of cards. Along with that, rulebook in a PDF format and one sheet of paper with the board and a few tokens. So it is like super simple to download and play and test and see if it's something for you, it's something interesting. A case Suburbia played by thousands of people all around the world. So many people tested, so many people played it to try this game. And I strongly recommend do it. Just invite your friends, invite your family, or just do it solo. go to portalgames.pl/en. We have in a menu dedicated page dedicated to this Suburbia case. It is called Play Detective for free. You can download everything. We have video explaining how to prepare everything. It is super easy for you to start. And the case Suburbia is designed by me and my wife, Mary. Is a rather short case. It's about a 90 minutes experience. It shows the most crucial parts of the game. So you'll be using some of the website. You will be doing some of the searching in the Wikipedia for some facts. You will be, of course, deducting and trying to solve the crime. But it is not overwhelming. It is not very complicated. Winning ratio is quite good, as we see in the data for the game. So I strongly recommend, if you haven't played Detective, you don't have to buy it. Wait, download the free case, play with your friends, debate with them if they enjoyed it, if they want to play more, ask your family if they want to play, and then you will know more. So the first step for you, Detective Suburbia case for free. How cool is that? You can find it, you can download it, and you have a great time with that. If you are done with a Suburbia case, if you like that, if you get this decision that yes, you want to have more, now we have something that is prepared for this year release. It is on a pre-order right now. It is called Detective Season 1. We call it on purpose Season 1 to give you a very clear message. This is where we want to start. This is where you want to start playing Detective. It is a new product, and it is right now on a pre-order to be released in September. And what you will find in this box, let me just put it here so I have it here. In Detective, you will find 3 cases. Each of them is standalone. Each of them is a separate story. They are very different. So the first one, the case called Natural Causes, takes place in a college. There is a professor found dead, and you come to the situation and you want to find what happened. He was involved in some secret projects, and these very shady things happening over there, and you will have to discover. This case, what I can talk about is, without doing too many spoilers, this case has a ton of additional, very interesting video content, video elements. So if you want to impress your friends, if you want to impress your family, if you want to invite them to home and tell them, hey, I have this amazing new game, Detective Season 1, and you will love it. It has this nice twist, and they will play, and hopefully you will blow their mind. If they suddenly log into the website, they suddenly see some videos from the secret cameras, if they can deduct based on the videos they see, if they pretend to Skype some FBI agents and talk with them, this is so cool. So with this case, we went all in with the gadgets and technology and being a modern board game. So this is to impress your friends and family and for the great time. The second case in this box, in the Season 1, is absolutely opposite. It is a Mrs. Marple. It is Hercule Poirot. It is an old British crime novel. It is set in the Britain. You are visiting old mansion. You are visiting the old family, and there is a dead body. There is family secrets. There is this mystery to be solved. All the letters, all the chronicles of the family, grudges, and some arguments inside the family, and you are feeling like Mrs. Marple. You are feeling like digging in these old secrets and trying to solve what happened and why these family members don't like each other. And the third case in this box takes you to the Italian district in the city, and of course, once again, we have a dead body. But the main suspect, the person who is the obvious choice for you to arrest, has a pretty solid alibi. This is the title of the case. It is called Solid Alibi, because this person, there's no way he could do it, but somehow it's done. So it is a case with the amazing twist. It's a case with you trying to figure out what the hell happened, because it doesn't make any sense, but it happened. And you have to think out of the box and find different puzzles and discover what actually happened. So 3 very different cases. Each of them is for about 90 minutes to 2 hours of gameplay. Rules-wise, I would say very easy. The rulebook has 8 pages. It's super simple. It's very user-friendly. It's a perfect way for you to start the adventure with Detective. It's a perfect way to introduce this game to your friends, to your family. If you, as I see in the chat, many of you, if you already know Detective, if you already play Detective, This is a perfect way for you to take this box and show it to new people, to new gamers, to play with your mother, to play with your sister, to play with your husband or wife, to go outside, because these cases are so vivid, so colorful, they have so strong theme. And if you know that your sister, if you know that the wife of your brother loves Mrs. Marple, if you know that they dig Italian movies about the mob, this is it. This is 3 very distinctive, strong thematic cases, but simple, in a very low in terms of the rules, of the mechanism. Perfect seasonal. That's why we call it season 1. So this one is on pre-order. You can pre-order it at your local game store. You can pre-order from our website, of course, portalgamesus.com. I strongly recommend for you, for our hardcore fans who love our company and who love to pre-order from us. We have this amazing book. It's called Game Designer Journal Detective Season 1. This is the book, hardcover, real book. It has 86 pages, a real hardcover book, and these are stories from the playtesting. So these are all the anecdotes and stories how I was designing this product, how we were playtesting, what fun happened during the playtesting, what were the issues, what were the problems, how we were changing the clues, how we were changing the story to adjust after playtesting. So if you love these behind the scenes materials, if you know this from buying DVD and then watching all these bloopers or watching these behind the scenes footage and interviews with the actors, this is it. This is how this product was designed, this is how this product was developed, and as I said, these 80 pages of fun stories and adventures from designing this product. So season 1, I strongly recommend your first step for detective. And if you are experienced players, if you already know detective, this is your way to pass the love to detective to new people, to show it to your friends and family, and make them hooked for detective. Director Panda asked me if this is only from the Portal website. The book, yes, this is exclusive for our hardcore fans, written by me and Veronica. So this is from our website directly. Others 80 pages. So you can try detective for free, playing Suburbia, download it from our website, a free PDF case, and just have a great time with your friends and family. You can start with detective season 1, 3 amazing, unique cases for you to play with your friends and family. What's the next step? I would go for the next step. I would go with LA Crimes expansion. Let me put it once again here on the spot. If you love Beverly Hills Cop, if you love 48 Hours, if you love Lethal Weapon, if you love all these classic 80s movies, this is your no-brainer choice. This is a campaign inspired by these 80 movies. I absolutely adore Beverly Hills Cop. I absolutely adore Lethal Weapon. I love this crime genre, and this is it. Now, why I put it on the next step from the season 1? Because it is a campaign. So what I mean here is that if you play this season 1 with your friends, for example, you invited friends, you play, and after you finish, they say, well, we didn't like it. It wasn't that fun. You're fine. You can play the other cases with somebody else. Here, because it is a campaign, if you start the game with your friends, it will be amazing to finish the whole campaign with them. If they drop during the campaign, that will be very unfortunate. So that's why I put it as a next step. If you have your family that loves detective, if you have your gaming group who loves detective, who will be dedicated to finish the campaign with you, this is your choice. But don't start LA Crimes with a random group that may be split and drop, and you will not have people to finish it. Once again, without many spoilers, this is the case that starts with some stories and behind the scenes things happening in the story arc dedicated to real CIA operations. So we were digging, we are reading documents, we are digging in the internet, of course, we were doing research, and we found out information about the old CIA operations that were actually happening, and around these secret operations will be on the whole story. So depending which clues you will find, depending how deep you will go into this story, depending how well you will do in this campaign, you may learn a ton about the secret operations of CIA, because we leave there a lot of clues. And of course, you will have a great time just solving the crimes. The whole campaign starts with the poor young girl being shot in the hotel. She was drunk, she got shot, and you're having to discover what happened, and then this whole campaign changes, and you will discover amazing things. This campaign has 3 scenarios, but as a token of appreciation for our fans, we designed 4th one, the 4th case, that is available for free for everybody who bought LA Crimes. So if you buy LA Crimes, you will find their secret code hidden in the rulebook. If you type in this secret code in the website, in our website, you will unlock secret case, the 4th case. So when I talk about LA Crimes, I always say you need a dedicated group. You need people who will dedicate 4 game nights to play, to solve the whole mystery. But on the other hand, it is amazing. It is a great, as I say, return on investment. They're like paying these 20 or 30 bucks and having 4 cases, 4 game nights, 12 or 15 hours of fun with your friends. This is the best money spent. And so if you love 80s, like there's so many amazing winks to fans, to people who play this. Like at the very beginning of this case, you will find for example, the CD from the young singing star Madonna, who is just starting her career. You will find people using Walkmans. You will find people using beatbox. You will find people skating. All this 80s theme is here, very vivid and amazing. So if you love some sentiment travels to 80s, it's perfect for you. If you have a dedicated group to finish all these 4 cases, it is for you. If you are not sure about having this group, don't go for it, because it's crucial to start and finish and appreciate the whole story together. So this is a Detective LA Crimes expansion. And what's the next step? For the next step, I would pick a detective, the Dig Deeper. This is the case that, like that. This is the case we released this June. It is a case designed by Rob Daviau, famous, amazing designer behind the Pandemic Legacy, designer behind many amazing games, storyteller and writer, and the industry gigant who was here from many years. He loved detective, and he decided to work with us on the standalone case. Why I put it as a next step? Why it is more difficult, in my opinion, than LA Crimes? Why I think it is more difficult than season 1? Why I think it is more difficult than Suburbia? Because it's a full, amazing, very rich story. This case has more cards. Like these cases that I showed before for season 1 and for Suburbia, they have 24 cards. This is how many clues, how many things that you can discover here. This case has 36, so it is 30% longer, 30% more clues, 30% more red herrings, 30% more stories and things to discover. It's complex, it's amazing, it's a great written. Rob is an amazing writer. He's a native speaker, of course, so the language here is amazing. You are really sucked into the story, and there is a ton of red herrings. This is a difficult case, this is a complex case. The story is involving. Once again, this story takes some real life events, some real life locations and places, and change some things on the story, add some motivations, add some characters, and you will be doing Wikipedia, you will be doing some research, you will be looking for clues and having a blast. And this case takes about 2 to 3 hours. So this is like a whole game night experience. This is like we are going to play today in Dig Deeper. You invite your friends and you spend these 3 hours experiencing this rich story. So this is for you. Dig Deeper, and as I said, this one is a complex. A ton of red herrings, ton of clues that will be a trap for you. So be careful, and that's why I put it as a next step after LA Crimes, which is a little bit easier in terms of figuring out what happened in this story. So this is Dig Deeper. And what's the next? The Captain Link says about the Boston video. Hello, Captain. The Boston video is absolutely amazing. Rob Rob being in the role, absolutely amazing. And the next step, and the last step from the whole line, is Detective, the base game. How crazy is that? How impossible to believe it is? But yes, detective, I would call the last, like first try Suburbia, then go with detective season 1 and learn how the system works. Check if your friend, if your family likes this experience. Then go for the campaign way and play LA Crimes expansion, which is amazing campaign. Then try to be not fooled by Rob Deview red herrings. And then, when you are ready, we invite you for the best of the best of the best. And Detective, the base game. This is why the game got a nomination for Game of the Year in Germany. That's why it won Game of the Year in Poland, Game of the Year in France, Best Thematic Game of the Year for Dice Tower, 5 or 4 nominations for the Golden Geek. Amazing game, but this is a tough cookie. This is a 5 scenario long campaign. Each of these scenarios have not 24 counts, but 36. These are these long 3 hours experiences. So altogether, out of these 5 cases, each of them about 3 hours, you have like 15 to 20 hours of fun, extremely complex. As I said in many interviews, in many my public speeches about the game, and the writer behind the whole story, the writer who came up with the scenario for the campaign, easily would work for HBO or Netflix, writing new seasons of True Detective, writing new seasons of Ozark, writing new seasons of the best TV shows. If this story would be done by Netflix, it would be easy 10 episodes miniseries. And for those of you who already play Detective, let me know if in the chat if you agree with me, if you can see this being a Netflix 10 episodes miniseries, engaging, involving. The whole thing starts with the Mystery of the Golden Watch. You probably heard about this in different reviews. And then spread in absolutely amazing meta plot, a meta story with so many layers, with 3 separate timelines. One of the timelines is set in the Second World War, 1945. Something happened. These whole events happening during the Second World War. Then we have the second layer of the plot, second layer of the clues, and they take place in the 60s. Few years after the war is finished, something happened and has a very important meaning. And the third timeline is a modern time. This is why we are playing, because it's a modern board game. We are playing in modern times, and the things that happened in the Second War and the things that happened in 60s influence our modern times, and the things that happen in the modern times, as players are investigating them, they have some meanings in the past. So 3 storylines, 3 timelines, 5 scenarios, deep story. And you need to have the game group that will be involved, the game group that will not drop out, the game group that loves to make notes, loves to make brainstorming, that loves to discuss. You need to have a mind map on the wall. You have to have notes and all that jazz, because this is the best of the best. But it asks you to put some effort, to put some time and effort, and get back what's the best. So Detective the base game, in my opinion, this is the last step for you in learning and experiencing and enjoying Detective life. So these are all the cases that are right now on the market. We have 5 cases here. This is the 6th one. Here we have a 4 one, so this is a 10 cases, and with these 3 ones we have 13 cases, and with this small one we have 14 cases for the game. So a ton of choices for you, a ton of fun for you. And as I said here in this I would say timeline for choosing the right case for you, from the easiest one to the most complex campaign. What's in the future for the game? What's the future for Detective? What we have in the works for you? We already announced in the PortalCon in July the new Signature Series expansion. So as we already released the Dig Deeper from Rob Deview, the next case in this line of expansions is Petty Officers from Mike Selinker. Mike Selinker, another industry icon, industry veteran, the designer behind Pathfinder, the card game, designer behind the Apocrypha, designer who did so many games over the past 20 years. He's absolutely an icon of the industry, and he has a case, standalone case, Petty Officers, once again, 36 cards, once again, deep, engaging story. And what's funny, what's cute in the case is called Petty Officers, because you start the game as a policeman, but you have these police pets to help you, like dogs who can sniff and that kind of jazz. So it's an interesting twist in the game that you have your allies, you have your non-player characters, and these are the pets. The case, the Pet Officers case from Mike Selinker, has stunning, amazing, mind-blowing twist in it. We already know, we already are aware that some of you will hate it, some of you will love it. For sure, all of you will be like, what just happened? This is what I can promise to you. Mike is absolutely amazing designer, and the thing that he came up with will be extremely discussed when it will be released. The case is, as I said, the case is ready, the case is submitted to us, we accepted it, and now it is in the editing process. We need to edit it, we need to do final playtesting, and this year it will be sent to manufacturing. It will be released early next year. So Petty Officers is another standalone case signature series. Hello, Alex. And the next thing that is in the works is Vienna Connection. Vienna Connection I have here with me just to show you a glimpse of how the work on the detective works. So this is the script. This is what I get from Przemysław Rymer, the writer. This is what we get from Detective, the base game, and this is what I also got for a Vienna Connection. So this is many pages. How many pages we have here? Yeah, almost 40 pages of the script, with all the facts, with all the names, with all the locations, with all the plots. This is the first script. At this point, of course, many months later, this script has many more pages. When I was asking Przemysław and Jakub to give me more insight for some of the parts, to give me more context, more content for particular things. But this is basically what I get from the writer. I get a script, like a movie script, and from that I started designing cards, designing clues, designing the whole gamification. Vienna Connection is the standalone product. It uses the basic system of Detective, but it will be a standalone beast with the different rules, with the different things. In it has a slightly different rules. It puts a much more effort on resource management. We wanted you to feel like you're working in the spy network, that you have your agents, you have your spies in different cities, you have your assets that you can spend, and you have to manage these assets. And because it's a spy game, some assets will be lost. Some assets will be taken by KGB agents. Some assets will be missing, and you will have to manage these resources. You will have to manage the risk of which agent we send here, which agent we send here. If we need to bribe somebody, if we want to get somebody to our side. So on one hand, you will be, as in the base game of Detective, you will be solving not crimes, operations, foreign agencies' operations. It will be deducting, will be thinking as in a regular detective. But on top of that, you have the whole layer of doing operations, of managing assets, and basically managing resources. I'm very excited about this product. We are in the finishing stage of development. This product will be also sent to print this year, and it will be released early next year. So Vienna Connection, if you love spy movies, if you love spy novels, if you love this genre of the cinematic and for the novels, as you were here playing detective, you were solving crimes. In Vienna Connection, you are going to be a spy. You are going to decipher some messages. You are going to analyze the code. You are going to think about what KGB agents are trying to achieve here. What's the operation? You will be spending assets. It's going to be amazing. And as I said, it is in the final stage of development, and it will be released early next year. So this is This is this planned half an hour presentation of all things dedicated to detective, all things in the line. These 14 expansions, just 14 cases already released, and petty officers. And Vienna Connection has 4 cases. So for all of you who are interested, it is a campaign. It is, as I just showed you, once again, written. The story is written by Przemysław Römer. So once again, a ton of layers, a ton of timelines, a ton of agents, a ton of names, a ton of fun. And this is a 4 scenarios, a long campaign is set in 1977. In Europe, the whole thing starts in Vienna. In Austria, that's why Vienna Connection, it all starts there in Vienna, and you will discover a huge plot, a huge operation from KGB being done in 1977. So this is what's happening here. And now we have a last 10 minutes before we wrap up, because there is a next stream upcoming. So I'm here for you for questions. So if you have any questions about Detective Line, I'm all here for you. So let me know in the comments what's interesting for you. Alex says that he's volunteering if a beta of alpha testers are needed. Alex, I strongly recommend to not play test, because it is always spoiling the fun. It is always, I appreciate my testers a lot. They play on crappy documents with a ton of mistakes, because when playtesting we find all these mistakes. So they play the worst possible version of Detective. They sacrifice the fun so you can have fun. I always prize the playtesters of Detective, because after playing the case, after playtesting the case, they know the story, they know the plot, they will never be able to play again, and they will be never able to play this amazing full version that you get later. So, and this is what's happening. I see that we are people watching us on Twitter, so thank you for being on Twitter with us. You can retweet this tweet, so more of your friends will see it. We see people on Twitch channel. Thank you for being on Twitch. This is our new platform to interact with our fans. We stream a few times a week. We are crazy. Every Monday, every Tuesday we do Neuroshima. Every other Wednesday we do Imperial Settlers. Every Sunday I do Sunday casual streams to just chat with you, and more things are coming. So check out our Twitch channel if you're not there yet, twitch.tv/portalgamesUS, as simple as that, and few times a week we are live for you. Colby asked me how many cases were rejected for the original Detective release. So I recorded a video, and I strongly recommend to check it out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/portalgamesmovies. When I was talking about the 10 facts, bloopers, and anecdotes about designing Detective, and the base game of Detective was planned for the 5 cases, but they were quite different at the very beginning. And what I was saying in that video was that the case 1 and 2 that you know from the base game, if you played the base game, in the script from the Przemysław Römer I got, it was one case, one epic case that took more than 5 hours to solve. And I told Przemysław, it's amazing, I love it, but there's no human being who can play for the 6 hours straight to solve it. We need to cut it in the half. I'm so sorry. And I cut it, and the case 1 and 2 today in the base game, back then it was one epic case. But yes, oh my god, this chat is going very, very, very fast. I was not prepared for that. Come Director Panda, what about doing a detective story on Robinson Crusoe Island setting? So that's interesting. Of course, we all know and love the TV show called The Lost. So there is a chance to have a detective story in Robinson Crusoe. At this very moment, as I said, we are working on the Vienna Connection. We have in the works, Przemysław is already writing another setting, and this setting will be a surprise for you. We'll announce it next year. And this is not a Robinson Crusoe. So yes, I always say in the interviews that I perceive Detective as a Netflix. And what I mean by that is that every few months on the Netflix, or every few months on the HBO Go, or every few months on the Amazon Prime, you have these amazing TV shows that pop up. You have House of Cards, then you had the Ozark, you had the Stranger Things, you had the Dark. So always something interesting pop up on Netflix or HBO, the same thing, Amazon Prime, the same thing. So I find Detective as a platform for you to be entertained and to discover new stories. And as we did with the base game of the game, when the story was set with some connections to Second World War, then we did Beverly Hills, a completely different setting, completely different story. And now we are doing Vienna Connection, and Detective is offering you, like Netflix, a spy TV game. And so for the next year, we have in the works a setting that is completely different. Once again, we want to surprise you once again. And I want you to understand and to promote the system, to promote the Detective around to your friends, among your friends, that this is a platform to live, to experience the stories. And we have so many ideas for the new stories, for the horror stories, for the sci-fi stories, for the fantasy stories. So as long as you support the company, as long as you support the line, we are going to tell you a ton of amazing, engaging stories. And yes, Portal is board games, tell stories, and Detective is a perfect game for us. So absolutely. Colby asked me, what is your favorite case? And the favorite case for me is a case number 2 in LA Crimes and case number 2 in season 1. So both cases number 2, and then I would pick case number 3 in the base game. So let me explain. Case number 3 in the base game shakes things totally. It's completely different. It's action-packed. It's things are happening that players cannot believe. They are mind-blown what's happening in this case. And slow investigation suddenly changes in the movie action movie. So base game, case number 3, I love it. For the LA Crimes expansion, the second case, I love it because I was inspired by the movie that I actually don't remember right now, the John Travolta. Section 8. I don't remember, but basically the premise for this case, for the case number 2 in LA Crime, is that everybody's lying. And you're talking with the suspects, you're talking with the witnesses, you're talking with everybody, and after a few minutes of this case, you understand everybody's freaking lying. Why they're lying, what happened, how we can figure out what happened. And I absolutely love it. You have to read between the lines to understand what was there happening and why they are all lying to us. So I absolutely adore this case. And for the case number 2 in Detective, season 1, Mrs. Marple, it is so different from everything we did so far. It's witty, it's funny, it doesn't use Antares website, it's just old family, everybody has some secrets. It's so fun case, and I absolutely love it. And I'm absolutely sure that from the Detective season 1, this one will be your most favorite. I absolutely adore it. Last 5 minutes, guys. Do you design more than one road to discover the solution to each case? The mind map must look like a chaos. And the captain like, yes, absolutely. Of course, the whole point of Detective is that there is no route whatsoever. Like it is not the case that there are like 3 roads to win. Like there are 3 different paths. There is no path whatsoever. We take a script from the writer, and we cut it into very small pieces. We throw these pieces on the cards, and we say, figure it out. So one player group can figure out what happened after reading 5 cards. Other group can figure out what happened after reading 7 different cards. Other group can figure out after reading 10 different cards. Like there is no one path, because the information is there on every single card, and every single card in the game provides information. If you are playing Detective, and I wrote these things in this book, so I strongly recommend to check out this book, Detective Game Design Journal. There's a ton of insight about designing cases and how I designed them. And what I say there is, if you are playing Detective, if you're reading the card and you say, nothing interesting, read it again. There is no single card in the game, and to be honest, maybe there are like 1 or 2 cards, but basically there's no single card in the game that has no valuable information. Every card has a message. So if you read the card and you say, nothing, that means that you missed something. Read it again, think again. Every single card has some information hidden, better or worse. And we just scatter this information on all the cards, and it's up to you how you will figure out how you puzzle this. But there's no path whatsoever. Are other scenarios going to be added to the Tabletopia paid? Ask Mob.ot. At this point, not such plans. We asked Tabletopia about them, how they can do it. So if somebody plays it, they will not share with their friends, because that's what we need if that has to be paid. And they have no tool for that. So we put a free case over there, and you need to buy the physical version to play the rest of that. But we also have on our YouTube channel and also on our website, portalgames.pl/en, the whole dedicated video with the information how to play in Detective over Zoom or Skype. So it is only one person that needs to have a box, and then you Skype the rest of the team, and you're having blast, you are playing, you are reading counts aloud like a narrator, and you're discussing, brainstorming, having fun. So you don't need Tabletopia to play in Detective. You just need the one person with a copy and a Skype connection or Discord connection or Zoom connection, and you're fine, you're set. And I know that players are playing like that, so I know it works. It's absolutely doable. 2 last minutes. Detective style fantasy role-playing game with Robinson Crusoe survival and events mechanics, please. One day. Yes. First Martians case. I'm not sure if the First Martians tagline would increase any sales these days. It's sad, but it's true. Joe Generic. Hi, I loved Detective and can't wait to try some of the other cases. I have 2 specific questions about the base game website usage, but don't want to inadvertently share too much. Is there a way to reach out for functionality questions? Absolutely. Reach us at portalgames.pl. That is our main email address, and put in a topic question about the Antar's website, and it will be forwarded to our team, Portal Games digital team, and they will answer. So absolutely, we are happy to discuss what you think work, what we can improve. Absolutely, the website, the Antar's website, had so many updates from the release of the game. Absolutely everything was changed, updated, because we hear in the feedback. We changed the questions, we changed the scoring, we changed the layout, we changed everything. We are reading emails, we are reading comments on the internet, we are improving, we are making this the best possible experience for you. So absolutely. Guys, and this is it. 45 minutes passed very fast. Since you like to write, have you considered writing stories for all the factions, the Imperial settlers, Neroshima, and 51st State? If I'm not only CEO of the company, if I'm not the head of marketing department, if I'm not a head of development department, at one point when I'm retired, I'll be writing. But right now I have so many hats on my head. I have so many tasks to do, and running a company, running a marketing department, and writing these cases for you is quite a task for me. So I don't have any more time to write the stories about Neroshima or other things. But of course, I would love to. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for spending these 45 minutes with me. I hope you learned about the Detective. If you're watching it after Gen Con Online, put some comments below the video so I can read them afterwards. And this is it for today. Please check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PortalGamesUS. If you are using YouTube, please subscribe. Please give me a like on this video. Please share with your friends this video if you're watching on Facebook. And basically, thank you for the support. Please play Detective, play with your friends, play with family, support the line, and as long as the line is supported, I promise you more amazing content for it, because I absolutely adore, I absolutely love creating these new stories for you. Thank you for being with me, and see you in 15 minutes with a new event, Gen Con Online, and in 15 minutes we are starting with the Portal Games news and announcements. So we are talking about all other products from Portal Games.